looky there. I found the perfect walking stick. So let's take a look around this beautiful world of ours. Look at this gorgeous day. Kansas, right? February. And I came down here to do a little fishing. Welcome to my backyard. Well, let's just say my property backs up to the lake, so it may not be my backyard, but pretty nice, right? Beautiful day, Kansas, sunny, 60 degrees. I came out here to see if I can break through the ice and do a little fishing yet, but yeah, it's still pretty frozen. Anyway, here's the deal. My mama used to tell me that if it wasn't for the hard way, I wouldn't learn anything in life. And, you know, you might be one of those guys, you went to school, you did everything just right. You got an education first, then you met a beautiful wife, and you had kids, the perfect dog, the perfect house, all of that stuff. Yeah, no, not me, man. I was too busy in school at Wyandotte County Lake with my buddies toking and playing hacky sack. So I didn't have a lot of cares in the world. And then I married a stripper because, well, I was in a rock band, and man, long hair, thought I was really cool, right? I was gonna rock the world, man. And then life happened, you know. I had kids and all that other stuff, and I've been divorced 3 times, brother. I've been through bankruptcy. I've lost everything at least 3 times. I've owned my own businesses. But here's the deal, you know. My mom used to always tell me, boy, if it wasn't for the hard way, you wouldn't learn nothing at all, right? And there's a lot of truth to that, because, you know, I ain't one of those guys that I didn't go to school, pay attention, get a good education, meet the perfect wife, then have kids, then settle down, get a beautiful house, perfect house, perfect life, perfect kids, wife, everything, right? No, that wasn't me. No, I wanted to be a rock star. Thought I'd marry a stripper, have kids, and not know a darn thing about raising them. And let's see, I've been through 3 bankruptcies. Or, I'm sorry, let me back that up. I've been through 3 divorces. Felt like 3 bankruptcies. But here's the deal, man. I've also been through bankruptcy. I've lost everything 3 times. And I've also beat lymphoma. And about a year ago, I had a massive heart attack. And after a life of partying and doing things the wrong way and being a bad influence of a father, I was watching all my friends commit suicide, right? And it got pretty tough. I was depressed. I've also battled depression and thoughts of suicide. So believe me when I say I got some things that the right person can learn from me. And that's why I made this channel, because you know, it's not about religion, politics, none of that other stuff. It's about life. It's about making mistakes, learning the hard way, and never giving up. You got people in your life that you love, you owe it to them to work through it all, to tough it out, you know, stay and fight. Some good buddies of mine in a band called 13 Minutes, check them out. They wrote a song called Stay. And yeah, stay, hang out. Don't get on Facebook and get all bothered by politics and all that other stuff, you know. Stay out of the drama. Get out here. Get out here in life. Look at this. Look at this lake. Kansas, 60-degree weather. That's not bad. It's a beautiful world. Don't let it get you down. Stick around, and we're going to learn a lot of stuff together. I beat cancer, and about a year ago, I beat a heart attack. Massive widowmaker. And so, you know, guys, I'm only 53. And what led up to that heart attack was a lot of depression. Friends committing suicide, trouble with my own kids. And I know, man, this world will break you down. You get on social media nowadays, and everybody's just, you know, politics and Epstein files and Bad Bunny or whatever the heck people on Facebook are arguing about from one second to the next. And you know something? That's not the life I remember when I was growing up, you know? And I got to thinking to myself, you know, what would heaven be like, right? And to me, heaven would kind of be like going back to childhood, to that age where, remember, you used to get up in the morning and you'd go outside and you'd go on an adventure, and you didn't worry about politics. You didn't care nothing about anything that was going on in the world except for your adventure. And I remember me and my buddy Troy, man, we lived in the suburbs, but we lived close to some pretty thick woods. And we would spend days, you know, hours upon hours, even camping, swimming in creeks, and we would just be going through these thick woods, you know, discovering everything we could discover about life and nature and whatnot. And, you know, when you get older, somehow you kind of lose that joy along the way. And so these videos are going to be how I rediscovered that joy, and how I kind of found myself and happiness and all that stuff. And although this isn't a political or religious channel, you know, I'll throw in my 2 cents once in a while. And, you know, I do believe in God. I told you I died of a heart attack, and, you know, what may have been like being dead for a few minutes, to me actually seemed like most of a day. And I didn't want to come back, and I'm glad I did, though, because my wife and my kids and my family, they needed me. And now that I'm here, I got to make the best of it, right? So I just want to personally invite you guys on my journey with me. I'm going to talk about diet and exercise, getting old, let's call it a midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. We might do a little fishing. Who knows? Hard telling. But we're going to figure this thing out as we go. And I can tell you this, if I can get personal for a minute. I've had a lot of friends that have left this world, and they've left a lot of pain behind. Your legacy and what you leave your children is important. Don't leave the people you love behind without letting them know how much you love them and care about them. Tell people you love them so much that it just drives them crazy. You're dealing with all that hate and stuff every day out there. Just let it go, man. Let it go. Because I'll tell you something, when I was a kid, watching cartoons and going out and playing and having an adventure was a lot better than I can ever remember. You know, when it comes to arguing with friends, that ain't no fun. Alright, so here's some things we're going to be talking about on the channel, right? Diet, exercise. Obviously, I'm a guy in my early 50s. I've had a rough life, partied a lot when I was younger, paid for it, been through cancer, been through divorce, been through bankruptcy, survived a heart attack. So we've got to talk about life. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about life. right? And, you know, let's spread a little love, spread a little happiness, spread a little joy. And although this channel isn't about religion or anything like that, I will say from my own personal experience, you need to have a personal relationship with Jesus, right? Because nothing else makes sense. He didn't come from an alien mothership, didn't drop you off here. You didn't evolve from monkey spunk. I mean, come on, give yourself some incredible intelligence here, right? Fact is we have a creator. And the one thing I know for a fact, I quoted it from the movie Rudy, is that there is a God and I'm not him. So anyway, again though, that's not what this channel is about. This channel is just about life. You guys got some advice for me. Hey, give it to me. I want to hear it. I need it. You know, and I remember something when I was fighting back with cancer. I remember this guy when I was in the gym trying to learn how to walk again, right? And I was struggling and crying, a little tear in my eye, and this guy came over to me, you know, and while everybody else was babying me and stuff, this guy came over and he's like, come on, man, you can do it. Get off your ass. Come on. Don't let life beat you like that. And, you know, that's what I needed to hear. You know, don't sugarcoat stuff with me and I won't sugarcoat stuff with you, right? So, yeah, I've learned everything the hard way. But I'll tell you what, I've also done some things right. But from my family to yours, we're going to enjoy this journey. And some of the things we're going to discuss doesn't have anything to do with life except for maybe traveling. I'm going to do some restaurant reviews, some places I love to eat maybe. And I'm even going to share some stuff on health. You name it, man. So in a nutshell, I'll tell you what this channel is about. It's about life, right? You know, everything I've done, I've learned the hard way. And I'm glad to have you on that journey with me. But here's one thing that I want you to remember. Don't ever sugarcoat nothing with me, and I won't ever sugarcoat nothing with you. Tell me how it is. Tell me how you really feel. But, you know what, guys? I'm going to talk about stuff like gardening, diet, exercise. I might do some restaurant reviews, vacation blog. You know, my wife and I just got back from Mexico. Man, I got a bunch of stuff I could tell you guys about that. Some how-to videos. But you know, more than anything, when you turn 50, there's not a lot of YouTube videos. You know, not a lot of video channels, YouTube channels, thank you. For us old guys out there that don't know nothing about YouTube and video, I ain't ever TikToked or tweeted or none of that stuff. I don't even know what most of that garbage is, right? I barely do Facebook. But man, I love you guys. I love everybody, you know. Just trying to do something positive, just trying to make a change, make a difference. You know, we've all got something deep inside of us that's telling us that, you know, hey, you need to do something meaningful and purposeful with your life. You know, don't just sit on your ass being lazy and watching the world going by. When I was a kid, I remember listening to this guy named Zeke Ziegler talking about. You know, you'll never make it in life as a wandering generality. You got to be a meaningful, specific. I'll work on that. Might need to get a drink or something. But here's the deal, folks. It's all about life. I'll see you in the next one. Who knows? I think I might do one on Bad Bunny. We also breed German Shepherds, so you never know. We might talk about these guys a little bit. So I mentioned my wife and I went to Mexico. What I didn't mention was how much we fell in love with it. Fact is, from the moment I stepped off that plane, I felt like a kid again. I could breathe. All the achy joints and muscle pains were gone. And just, man, I can't even tell you. When I got back to the United States and my wife and I got off the airplane in Kansas City in a blizzard to scraping ice off the windows when her and I were still tan, that was a reality check. But the fact is, there are places that you can retire for a fraction of the cost here in the United States. And the number one reason we're looking at, more specifically, a place called Oaxaca, Mexico, Mazunte. That's what you're seeing in this video here. Cheap healthcare, affordable healthcare, little to no crime whatsoever. Beautiful little town. And yeah, cartels, all that other stuff. And you don't go to New York City, you don't go to Los Angeles, and you just got to know where the good and bad places are. Just use some common sense. But there are places that you could retire and places you could travel. And just, I'm telling you, Mexico is an absolutely beautiful place. And so I'm probably going to be doing some travel videos and some videos about my wife and I possibly moving there in the future. And we were also considering Belize as another option. But here's the thing. People in America here aren't getting old. And some of us just want to live in peace. And who knows? This is just where my wife and I, our heart is at. So I haven't really thought of a way to wrap this thing up. Didn't really know how to start it. Like I said, I've never made a video before this, you know. But here I am, an old man with a camera on a selfie stick in the middle of the woods, talking to myself. For no other reason than to hear myself think. Because I think at this point, my YouTube channel, I think I've got like 5 subscribers. And 1 like or something like that. Nobody knows who I am, and that's okay. I think starting out more than anything, this is for my family. It's for my kids, especially my grandkids. The people that know me, my friends. I love you guys. You know I wear my heart on my sleeves. And we may not have always agreed on everything. But at the end of the day, what's important is that we love each other. And if you get anything at all from this channel, I hope that's it. I hope you walk differently, act differently, talk differently, and see each other differently. You got the internet out there telling you how good you got to be. That you're not rich enough, smart enough, pretty enough, strong enough. And that reminds me of Brad Arnold from 3 Doors Down. And I just want to take and end this way. I'm going to pay a tribute to Brad. Wonderful human being. Broke my heart when I found out he was dying of cancer. It was a fate I almost had myself. But I'm going to catch my breath. And as we leave, I'm just going to take a minute of silence. God bless you, brother. May you rest in peace.